All right, well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this session on sports and entertainment in Texas. Appreciate you spending the time with us. I'm also excited to announce that we got the warm conference room.
Yeah.
And having come just from out there, they were making all sorts of jokes on the stage. So thank you again for joining us to hear about sports and entertainment in this new world, as well as get a little warmed up. So with that, what I wanted to do today is just start with some intros. With that, Byron, I'll let you go.
Thank you. I'm Byron Williams. I went to UT Arlington and got drafted by the Green Bay Packers in '83. Married my high school sweetheart, been married 41 years, and got 2 daughters. But been in the leadership part of the NFL now since 2010. I was the president of the NFL Players Association from 2010. He's on the board. He's the president of this chapter. And then January the 1st of this year, I just became the president of the NFL Alumni here in Dallas, Fort Worth. And what we do is we are one of the oldest professional football fraternities in the world. We started the NFL Alumni in 1967, so we've been in existence for 58 years. And so I'm leading the former players division. We have 40 chapters across the country with the NFL Alumni. And I just got back from the Super Bowl, so I get to do a lot of fun stuff. Very involved in the community. It's a nonprofit, so we care for kids, care for the community, and we care for our own, making sure that the former players are engaged in health-related stuff, benefits that they earn during the course of their years playing football, and navigating through the process of staying healthy and productive. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. But I live in Arlington. I was in the track and turf business for 25 years. So that's what when I talked about going to every high school, that's what I was doing at every high school, putting in 400-meter running tracks and turf fields. I know a lot about that. And then also, I got a nonprofit myself. I help homeless kids in the school. So my foundation is the bestwishesfoundation.org, bestwishesfoundation.org. So that's what I do a lot of. And basically, you know, I have a fun life. Like I said, I do a lot of fun stuff with players. And so we, this event here in Texas is very important to me because being a Texas, growing up in Texas, football is always the most exciting thing that I could be a part of. So I just want to thank you guys for being here, and I'm excited to be here. So you can ask me a lot. I know quite a bit about football. If I don't know nothing else, I was born with a football, I think. So.
Well, thank you. Just a little bit about me, and then we'll dive into it. David Gross. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for JumpShot. We are an innovative basketball entertainment company that some people have said is the Topgolf of basketball. We're very, very flattered by the comparison. We also have a lot of work to do to achieve the level of success that Topgolf has. So a little bit about me. I moved to Dallas a little over 25 years ago. And when I moved to Dallas, I thought, you know, I'm coming for work. I'll be here for 3 years max. Well, I arrived in the summer, and it turned out to be the summer of 100-plus days, over 100. Got to the end of that summer, I was still alive, and I said, there is no way I'm living in Dallas for more than 3 years. So here I sit, 25-plus years later, in Dallas, and what has kept me in Dallas and in Texas generally are all the reasons that you guys are probably here. It's an incredible community within this state. It is, from a personal and professional perspective, all sorts of things are happening, and I couldn't be happier to be here. I have 3 kids. Youngest one is in 7th grade, middle one's a junior in high school, and the oldest one is in her first year, slightly north of us, but I won't name the school since we're at a YTexas event. So with that, Byron, let me ask you a couple questions. First off, today more than ever, We have new pioneers, pioneering technology, pioneering experiences all across sports, whether it's basketball, the business I'm in, football, etc. You know, in your mind, like what are one or two of the top people or developments that really stand out in sports today?
Well, once I retired, I started playing golf. So if you look at the golf spectrum and you see how golf have evolved and people getting excited from every level, golf has really been one of the most incredible things. I think it have taught us a lot. And then when you go to the Super Bowl, they have what they call fantasy football as well as the NFL experience. And the NFL experience is really have grown when you go to the Super Bowl. Kids and families and spectators, everybody from all spectrum of the world is involved in the NFL golf, golf world. So not the only golf world, but the Super Bowl NFL experience is really great because kids go there and just have fun all day long, and it's one of the things that you can be a Joe Namath, or you can be any quarterback, and you can take photos with your superheroes, and it brings the game to to the intimate part of reality.
All right. Well, thank you. You know, just from what I'm seeing across the sports landscape, the two developments that I am super excited about, and the first one's extremely personal to me, is one, the opportunities that young women and women are getting in sports. For my middle one, who's a junior in high school, she's a very competitive soccer player. And I look at the opportunities she has to play, for example, last weekend in a national tournament up in Frisco, where the FC Dallas is located, and all the exposure that she got there. I think about the NIL opportunities that are 12 months, 24 months away for her, and her dreams of playing not just collegiate soccer, but professional soccer. I mean, those are opportunities that 25 years ago either didn't exist or barely existed. And so I'm very, very excited about that development. The second one that I'm pretty excited about is the combination of sports and also real estate. So I was telling somebody the other day, it seems like there isn't a week that goes by where a sports team at any level, high school, college, and the pros, isn't coming out with some announcement about how they're redeveloping a certain area and expanding their headquarters, or they're creating something literally from the ground up. And so as that's happening, what I think we're seeing, again, it's at all levels, is as sports and real estate are converging, we're creating areas where communities can aggregate like never before. And just to give a few examples, I think of the Star in Frisco, right? A lot of people don't realize that started as a partnership between Frisco, the school district, and the Cowboys. And every time I go up there and I see how it's bringing the community together, I get more and more excited. So we're going to see more of that, not only, from the Cowboys, but also from FC Dallas. And that's just within the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The same thing is happening in Houston, happening in San Antonio, and I see a lot of good things happening in Austin. So with that.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
In 1999, I went to Paris, France with the superintendent of Frisco and the athletic director, Coach Kirkendall. And we went and looked at all the football fields over in Paris. And the number one turf company in the world was Torquat. And we went to look at these fields. And I want to say this, Frisco is the first high school in the state of Texas that really did a lot of investigation on turf fields. So now you see turf put in at the baseball facilities and everywhere else. And Frisco was the pioneer school district of that. In 1999, we came back and started putting in all turf fields because we knew every year for the next 10 years or so, the first year I was building these schools, high schools and middle schools, and every one of them got turf or tracks and some of the top installation in them. And they was the first pioneer school district that really did that. They did their homework. So I want to say kudos to Frisco ISD.
All right, Byron, I got another question for you. So if you could go back and give yourself, your younger self, some advice for being successful in today's new era of sports and entertainment, what would your advice be to yourself?
Well, I got kicked out of football my junior year in high school because I was drinking at a track meet. I had to run 50 miles to play football my senior year, and that was the most incredible things. And I would say try to stay focused, try to be obedient to your parents, try to set goals early on, because that is a foundation of what life is all about. And if you get a good start in life, it's no telling what you can end up becoming and doing in life. And so my recommendation to a lot of young kids this day and time is to look at your tag. And your tag is what? Your talents, your abilities, and your gifts. And when you do that, because we all are gifted in something. And my gift was speed. I could run. I ran a 4.23. I ran a 10.1 300 meters. I only caught 26 passes at UTA and still got drafted by Bart Starr of the Green Bay Packers. So I'm telling you, look at your tag, and I'll tell every kid that everyone got a tag. Everybody got a tag. You got something great inside of you. And so once you feel that and see that and stay focused on that, you know, you can dreams do come true. So in 2009, my high school called me and told me, Byron, we want you to put our track in. And so in 79, my senior year, when I ran those 50 miles, I ran 5 miles a day. I had to run every mile on an 8-minute mile. And so the second Monday on the 28 mile, the coach said, Byron, you didn't make that mile. I said, Coach, I made that mile. So when I ran that extra mile, God told me I was going to play pro football for 12 years. So I finished the 50th mile the second Friday. I call it 50 plus 1. And then 2 weeks later, the coach called me and said, Byron, you made that mile. I just want to see if you're going to quit. So I tell kids all the time, don't quit. Don't quit on your dreams. Don't quit on your goals. I believe everybody in here can accomplish a lot if you just stay focused on what you can do best. And running was what I did best.
Wow, you were fast. Oh, man. Well, listen, we're running up against the half hour here. I just want to open things up. Do any of you have any questions? Fire away.
So you alluded to a young woman who's now got new opportunity in the soccer field. What do you think about what's happening in and around just women in sports?
Well, I want to say this, for as football, flag football, I do a lot of flag football as well, football camps, and flag football is really growing, and we get a lot of inquiries of last 2 Super Bowls. I've been invited to all girls flag football camps over there at the Super Bowl, and you can see the growth, just the excitement that's happening. And of course, they're gonna have Olympics flag football in LA in 2028, and so you can see the excitement in the youth and girls, and you can see that Georgia was the first state that have a UIL, so to speak, in the whole state for girls now, competition. So those are exciting moments. So in case, and these girls are going to get ready to get scholarships, as well as that NIL deal is going to be amazing.
You know, on the economic front, I am a CFO after all. Where I want to see women's sports go is I want the economics to follow the value that's being created. I was reading an article the other day talking about Caitlin Clark. She's getting paid $60,000, $70,000 to play in the WNBA right now. That is way out of proportion with the value that she's creating for her team and actually for the entire league. And so I get excited when I see new leagues, for example. You all may have heard of Unrivaled. They're paying the women $200,000 a year to play during their season. So it's nowhere near what I'd call parity or close to the value that's being created. But it's a big step in the right direction. And if we keep making these big steps, not over decades, but year after year after year, they're going to stack on each other really, really quickly. And I think we'll get to that point, hopefully in the next 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, I think that because of the challenge it is for kids to really succeed in a career. The fact is that about 8% of all the high school players that play high school football get a scholarship, 8%. The other 92% don't. So the probability of a football player going on to college and then on to the pros is very small. You know, so but there's a lot of kids playing football. So we have the opportunity to prepare these kids to do some of the things that we're here talking about over there in the other neighborhood about education, careers, business, being a CFO, or technology, being going into technology type space. How can we collaborate a little bit more between professional football and business so that we can create a pipeline, an accelerated pipeline of kids, even some of the players that go into the pros, they don't have the education, and unfortunately they wind up losing their money because they're not educated on how to handle that money. They get a lot of money very quickly. How do we collaborate better between pro sports and the rest of the population that plays sports at the high school and college level?
Byron, do you want to talk about football, and then I'll talk about basketball?
Well, one of the things I could say with the collective bargaining agreement since 2010, you have had more millionaires in the NFL than ever before. So the education is definitely there now. We make it our effort, full force effort to make sure that players know about everything that we offer. We have it with the NFLPA to where if you want a degree completion, we have that's paid for. If you want to go to law school, we have that paid for. All that have happened in the last 15 years with the trust, so that's getting better, and the percentage of that have increased. So the NFL Players Association, our next collective bargaining agreement is 2030. They're going to start talking and start negotiating in 2027. But you can see more efforts now, and more younger guys are being able to help and mentor when we've been putting in mentorship into all our components of all these chapters. So that's getting better. So that's improving.
Yeah, but I think the football is on Sunday with the Walk of Fame
Yeah.
award, right?
Man of the Year award.
The most coveted award in pro football.
Right.
Everybody wants to win the Walk of Fame award.
Right.
Let's give it back to the community. That's what you do for the community. So I know that the NFL players help the football players, but what beyond that, what can you do for the community that you play in?
And that's what we've been working on. Like I said, I just jumped over to the NFL Alumni. So what we're doing is I'm getting ready to ask former players that live. We have almost 2,000 players here in Dallas-Fort Worth. I'm trying to get these guys to adopt schools. And I've been going into schools for the last 15, 20 years. And like we partnered up with schools in Arlington and Grand Prairie, me and a couple other NFL guys. You know, you got Charles Haley doing that special tackle tomorrow for his program. So we got people doing it, but they don't talk about the things that we're doing. So a lot of people think we're not doing nothing, but we are doing things throughout some of the various communities. I'm working with a couple of school districts over here in Garland as well. So you just don't hear it on the news because they don't talk about it. But there's a lot in place, but we can do more. I can say that.
Just real briefly, from the JumpShot perspective, we haven't talked about this publicly, but really driven into our DNA is giving back to the community. So we are developing programs and talking with key stakeholders across the basketball ecosystem, whether it's at the high school level, junior college level, all the way to the pros. And I'm not just talking about the NBA, but I'm talking about the G League, so forth and so on. And we're creating an internship program where people can come in and say, hey, I'm really interested in marketing. I want to work on marketing during the off season. Or I want to work in finance, or I want to help operate a venue and learn more about what it is to be a general manager responsible for tens of millions of dollars of revenue a year. And so through these internship opportunities, we want to give people the ability to learn about themselves, about some of the areas that I mentioned, and ultimately create career paths. And if they end up working at JumpShot, fantastic. If they go off and work for somebody else, even one of our competitors, that excites us too. But we want to create these career paths for people to learn about themselves and develop.
So I'm in real estate, so I like to help people get into homes as well. This question is for you. You talked about the organization Best Wishes Foundation. What inspired you to start that, and what opportunities for volunteering?
Well, a couple of coaches would call me and say, Byron, we have some homeless kids in our school. And I said, wow. And you never think about it, but every school have homeless situations. And so when these kids go to school and then they go back to the shelters, well, every Friday, they need food during the weekend. So we wanted to kind of fill that gap. And so we started having pizza parties, holiday gifts giveaway and things like that. So that's kind of how I got started. The coaches made me aware of those situations, and so we're doing a little bit more, and we're trying to fill the gap. So that what alerted me to start doing the foundation. So I used to always say Byron Williams Best Wishes. So I had my website got to Google Best Wishes Foundation, and the two most popular words were Best Wishes, and nobody had it. So I was able to get it and lock it in. So. And I know it was something that's from the Lord, so I went with that.
So what do you provide with that Best Wishes? Just besides
Like right now, I got some shoes. We've been giving away a lot of chips. We just been taking them to the schools. They've just been pouring chips into the schools, but like the pizza parties. I have a counselor that you'll identify those kids for me. They don't even know what we're doing. They just thinking they selected by numbers. But usually, you work through the counselors and the coaches, and then that's how we know who to target. And we just start filling the gap as according to a schedule that we can put together.
So how could we volunteer?
Yeah, you can volunteer. We'll start working on, I'll probably have to start working on the schedule, but if you got something in Laredo, that's where you live?
Operate.
Okay. Well, we just need to talk about it, and then maybe you go to the school, middle school or the high school, and see who we can talk to, and we can start a program with them.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, first question's for David. How do kids get involved with internships? For instance, I have a fellow who's a junior in college at Texas Tech, heavy in computer science, wants to get into cybersecurity. Is that an opportunity for y'all over the summer?
For the summer, it may be a little bit early for us, but I would say definitely, December of this year through March of next year, feel free to reach out to us. Then, between now and then, feel free to reach out to us too, via LinkedIn, via our website. Love to talk to them.
Awesome. And the second question is for Byron. Have you ever been to Palacios High School?
I think I have.
That's where my dad coached.
Where they located?
Southwest of Houston.
Yeah, I've been down there.
Tracy City and the guy named Oscar Giles down there.
Yeah. The tracks down there, they're kind of like a real solid. The land is not that solid.
It's not too beautiful.
No, well, I've been down there though. I've been down there for sure.
Yeah, I had to run 40/40s at high noon down there as a kid to go to the pool. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, there was no 50 miles because it's pretty darn hot.
But you know what? We do remember those high school days. I'll tell you that.
Well, listen, I want to just again Byron, I want to thank you for coming today and sharing your stories and your thoughts. And I want to thank all of you for coming and spending your precious time with us. We'll be up here for a few more minutes if you have more questions. Happy to talk. So thank you.
Thanks.
Keeping kids off screens, right? Right. Active.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, how are you? Excellent. Pleasure. Thanks for doing this today. Yeah. So, I work with an organization called Divink, and we support underrepresented founders who are launching tech companies.
Okay.
And our most recent accelerator is actually into sports tech. And so it's a 12-week program. These tech founders come in with their first version of their software or their solution, and we help them get to the multi-million-dollar level. I'm just curious, like, how would you recommend the accelerator plug into what y'all have going on? Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll talk with one of our co-founders, who is our CTO, and talk with him a little bit about what's possible.
So I can send you a little backdrop and a link to, we have, I want to say we did 3 cohorts already. We've got another one coming up. It'll be happening in Houston this time. So we have space in Austin and also in Houston. We kind of have our eye on the big ground. We're in Dallas with my GP. And so, yeah, I'll reach out.
Absolutely. Love to talk more.
Thanks so much. You bet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to say hello, David. Quick question for you.
Mike Moore, we can definitely,
Okay, perfect. I appreciate it. Okay, sir, God bless you.
hey, how you doing?
Graceland.
So,
Thanks so much for being here today. I work with an organization called Divink, and we help founders in the sports space get to the multi-million-dollar level.
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you. I wanted to let you know, we're going to do the next panel at noon. And as soon as they wrap up, like in 1 minute, you can get your lunches. And then we'll, it's just grab and go lunches. There's fajitas, chicken, vegetable, veggie, and beef. Next session will be in the main room. So there's 2 sessions. We'll both be in the main room. So you can watch them all.
What we're up to, either by using some of the products, which, could be everything from medical side to the actual side to cardio IO. I don't know if you watched Shark Tank.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so Dustin Bell, he is a founder that has
We're also doing
for cardio IO, helping people get out.
so soccer.
And so, yeah, I'd love to talk with you about it and see if there's some. I'm in Austin. Yeah.
I'm coming to Austin March 1st, and just part of the speaking, me and Jim Jefffield.
Okay.
So we'll be down 2 weeks. But yeah, let's
Yeah, let's connect. Well,
what you get?
I've got LinkedIn is a good way to connect, or if you have a card, I
You
can.
can just do the doc. It pops up on your phone.
I would say the biggest surprise, especially when
Thinking about it, I guess.
is that through the power of social
It'll be a
media.
sweet
Oh,
spot.
there it is.
It's a sweet spot.
Awesome.
So as we think about expansion,
So you do download,
expanding,
and you do save contact, then you go down, and you create new,
and we'll end up overseas.
and then you hit create new, then hit done.
So I'll text you.
If you're in the realm of possibility. Yeah. Canada.
Right, the co-location is a real opportunity. Even from I think about like an esports perspective, the opportunity it's really unique in that capacity, right?
Once you go ahead, once it's more and more, it's a
I mean, but
and so. Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Trajectories up, they'll be Likewise.
Oh, yeah.